You are not in this as a businessman. You are in this because of a profound desire to share and to teach and to lift people up and to make people healthier and stronger. And I'm grateful to you for all that you do to bring everybody together.
Last year, I attended an event that was absolutely incredible. Never been there before, though I had heard of it and didn't know what to expect. But I was invited to go and attend. What I experienced is something that I advise, in fact, encourage and would tell all my friends, you've got to go and experience this incredible show. Now, I've done theater, I've been in $1 million productions, multi-$50 million productions, and I was blown away. That's why today I invited and actually asked the president of Mr. Olympia to come back in and present exactly what's going on. I can't say enough about the experience I had, the people that are attended, the knowledge that was there, the energy, the level of production was out of this world. So I can't be more happy than to invite and welcome back Dan Solomon, president of Mr. Olympia.
Dan, it's so great to be here. And your words mean so much to me because I remember last year you reached out to me before the show expressing interest in experiencing something that you had never been a part of. And I know you've traveled the world, you've done so many things, you've seen so many events, you've connected with so many people, but you had never been to the Olympia. And it was so wonderful seeing you there. But more than that, the feedback and the things you had to say after that um, really meant a lot because, we get so um, knee deep in the process of production and planning and marketing and branding and all the things that go with, executing an event of this scale. And sometimes we lose sight of what you experienced, right? So when you came home and you kind of sat me down and you shared with me what you felt and how it filled you with so much inspiration and motivation and being immersed in the commerce of the fitness community. I know you've really made a name for yourself on the wellness side of this world, and the fitness side is a bit different, as we've talked about. And it means a lot to me that you were a part of it and that you really enjoyed it. And yeah, I loved hearing you describe all of your experiences, and I'm glad to see that you're going to come back and do it again.
Yeah. And again, it's been a destination for so many years because of the admiration, whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger that brought the bodybuilding world to really the public and the movies that went out, or the fact that I love to lift weights, even though my focus has not been bodybuilding. I didn't know what to expect. And then I brought my girlfriend Vivian with me, who had no interest in bodybuilding. And this is what was fascinating. She actually thought it was something that wasn't even attractive. But watching her experience and then seeing the tens of thousands of people that went through and seeing how everyone had a like-minded experience was unbelievable. And I have to say, by the time we left, Vivian turned around to admire and respect and actually turn around and go, I loved being at the show from someone that didn't even want to go.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's an energy force field, right? I mean, I don't care what anybody does for a living, what industry they're in, what their life circumstances are. Everybody wants to be immersed in a sea or in a force field of good energy, and that's what we try to cultivate. And when you're in a world where so many people are plugged into this level of dedication and passion, it's infectious. And I love that your girlfriend felt that. I love that she was able to, access all that energy. And I'm not surprised. I hear those stories a lot. Some people show up and they don't really know what they're going to walk into. They feel like it's going to be some kind of a convention of people that they can't relate to. But anybody who's ever had a goal, anybody who's ever tried to commit to something can learn a lot from this community. And then when you merge that with just the overall relationship building and the commerce and ability to see latest trends in health and fitness. Look, I don't care if you're a weekend warrior in the gym or if you're somebody who gets after it every single day. At some level, everybody's trying to identify ways to be stronger, have better mental clarity, have more energy and be more fit, live longer, all that stuff. So we all share in that crusade, no matter what you're into. And I love that she came there completely uncertain and skeptical, and she left there a fan. And if that's the case, honestly, we're doing something right because that's what we really try to do. We try to connect with new audiences. We try to let people know that there's a lot to be had. There's a lot to gain from this world. And if you allow yourself to see it and feel it and connect with it, it can be extremely powerful.
And what was great, she actually got to meet the bodybuilders. She got to meet Mr. Olympia and Miss Olympia and all these different, you call them celebrities in the bodybuilding world, but they were so accessible. Like you can go up, you can actually talk to them
Yeah.
and ask information and get really training for yourself to think a different way. But one thing you had shared with me before I went, the difference between your event and your expo, because the expo is, a whole nother level. Everyone there is passionate about their fitness. They're passionate about getting stronger, their self-investment into the passion of the beautiful body that we've all been born with, but what we do with it determines where we can actually go in life. And the people that showed up, it was such an incredible atmosphere. I'll liken it to this, Dan. When I race bikes, it's a very selfish world. Right? On the bicycle, you're drafting, you're using everybody to try and get first across the line. But in triathlons, everyone was supportive because someone may be a better runner, someone's a better cyclist, someone's a better swimmer, and you just are against yourself, but you're cheering everybody else on. When I went to the Mr. Olympia Expo and the event at night, everyone was so positive. They were there not just for themselves, but they celebrated other people's victories as well.
Yeah, and I know that you've built a career on that idea, right? I mean, your whole Born Superhuman mission, this crusade, this community that you've built, I know you very much tapped into that, and I'm glad you found a lot of that, um, in our community as well, and there's been a lot of progress made. There used to be this disconnect between wellness and, anti-aging and longevity, and then those of us over here on the fitness and muscle building side, it was long disconnected, and, over the last few years, a lot of people like yourself who have worked to kind of build bridges between bringing those two communities together. And we all realize that we all have this same thing in common. We might have different ways of going about it. We might have different levels of expertise. We might have different levels of interest within the framework of that whole movement. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to be fitter, faster, stronger. We're all trying to achieve the same relative objectives. And I love that we've all found each other, and it's continuing to be felt in fitness expos around the world. The Olympia. We're really proud that we serve the role that we serve in the fitness industry and the status that we represent. But there's so many great events, the United States and on other continents that are part of the same mission, the same crusade, a term that Arnold Schwarzenegger loves to use. Arnold won our event 7 times, and he has since gone on to really be a massive ambassador. To this day, he just celebrated his 79th birthday, and he's still out there walking the walk, talking the talk, inspiring people to get fit and doing all that. And he has a great event he puts on every year in Ohio. But there's just a lot of great things happening, and I'm so glad that you're coming back. And that's it's so representative of what me and my team, we work so hard to achieve, is getting people to test the waters, to, stick their toe in the water, as they say, and experience this, and then see how it moves you, how it affects you. And I have people every year, they show up and they'll walk over to me after, whether it's the show at the arena, which is our big stage production, or the expo at the Las Vegas Convention Center. They'll experience it and they'll come up to me afterwards and they'll look at me and they'll say, God, I had no idea. I had no idea the kind of things that are happening here. And they tell their friends about it. They come back. I hear stories like the ones you just told. And I hope anybody out there who's sort of on the fence wants to contemplate doing something different. Maybe you're just looking for an excuse to go out to Vegas. That's fine. Or maybe you're just looking for something new to lift you up in a different way, and a place to learn, a place to be inspired, a place to be motivated, and just a place to connect and to bring something home that stays with you, that you can share with your friends and encourage them to come back next year and be a part of it. And that's the definition of a movement, and that's what we're trying to do.
I'm so glad you brought that up and the fact that I'm coming back. But this year, I'm actually coming back as an exhibitor. I'm going to have a booth, a 50-foot booth, where I'm bringing in the Born Superhuman program. It's something I want to offer. At the end, if you watch to the end of this, I'm going to invite 2 listeners to join the Born Superhuman team and come with me as part of the program and attend the expo at Mr. Olympia as my guest as part of Born Superhuman. So I'm really excited, but you got to listen to the end.
That's a Dan, that's such a great idea because, um, it's first of all, that's it's gonna be so successful. I love the fact that you're taking up such a big space out there. That's a very ambitious thing that you're doing. I know you're making an investment in that, in many ways, and, it'll be great to have you out there. And it's funny, not everybody is aware of all the content and the stuff that you do, but the stuff that you put out in the universe, whether it's content, whether it's the products that you're behind, the things that you teach, it's all like the embodiment of positivity. And I love what you do. And I love the fact that now, you know, tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of people who make their way through the Las Vegas Convention Center at the Olympia Expo the last weekend in September, that they're going to get to see the things that I've gotten to experience um, for themselves. Because you're one of those people that whenever I've connected you with anybody, I always hear from them later and they always talk about just how inspired they are by you and your story. And the great thing about your story is, and I know we're not here to talk about you, but we should. We should talk about you a lot because there's so much to talk about. Your story is so multi-layered. You've been through so much. You've achieved so much. You've conquered and dominated in so many verticals in different ways, from art and entertainment to fitness and athletics and all these different things that you've done. And whatever you do, you always do it at a highly passionate level. And I'm so excited that the Olympia fans are gonna get to see you and your Born Superhuman team, there, and I'm sure you're gonna have some celebrity guests with you, and, I have no doubt that you're gonna represent in a way that's gonna, make me very proud to have you there.
Yeah, I very much appreciate such kind words. And I'm bringing in protocols that people can use to get more results with the same work. It's not about I have to work harder. It's how do we take care of the inside of our body to let the body flourish and become even stronger with the same work you're doing. You work hard because you're passionate about it. You have goals and dreams. But what if there's little things that you could change in your lifestyle? Or I know you know about the hydrogen water and there, Dan, with the conversations we've had, and that you got a machine in your house and red light therapy and EMS suits that increase the quality and then the total balance. And then my new gut health drink that I couldn't be more. I'm so excited about that because when we take care of ourselves, the body can flourish. But I want to talk a little bit. There's changes this year. You went from your old venue for the Mr. Olympia to now being at the Palms. Tell me the changes that are going on and what exciting things will be for attendees to see both at the expo, but the massive.
Yeah, so there's a few changes. The one change you just mentioned, you mentioned the Palms. That's our new host hotel. So every year we have a host hotel. We've used over the years Mandalay Bay, Planet Hollywood, Resorts World, and this year we are using the Palms, which is just off the strip, but it's a hotel that was recently reacquired, and a lot of money has gone into taking that hotel to a great level, and we feel like it's a great alignment with our event. So if you're planning to come to the Olympia, you go to MrOlympia.com, go to the travel page, you'll find a link to the Palms and you'll get access to our discounted room block. But it kind of puts you right in the middle of the whole ecosystem of the event. And that includes press conferences that we have and meet and greets and all kinds of things that you can experience. And all those schedules are on MrOlympia.com. But then we also made another change to where we actually hold our World Championship stage production, otherwise known commonly as the Mr. Olympia or the Miss Olympia. And that's the title you had mentioned Arnold before. Arnold won that event 7 times, and, there have been 19 men who have been crowned Mr. Olympia over the course of the 61-year history of the event. Now that event is going to be moved to an arena this year so we can accommodate, a bigger crowd and do some different things production-wise. There's pros and cons to, in the past few years, we've used a theater. This year we're gonna use an arena. We had gone the arena model a few years back, and we're bringing it back to just test drive it again and to see if it works the same way we anticipate that it's going to. We're always tweaking. That's the one thing about the Olympia. We really try to reinvent as much as we can. Sometimes we do things that work, sometimes we do things that don't, but we're always testing the waters. We're always trying to figure out ways to not get stale and to keep as fresh a vibe around what we do as possible. People come, they spend a lot of money to get on airplanes, book hotel rooms, buy tickets. It's a significant investment, and we wanna do our part to just not hit redo every year and replicate one year to the next. It's very easy to do that. There have been long stretches where the Olympia was in the same place for 15, 16 years in a row, but our group has become very ambitious, probably to a fault, and we like to mix it up a little bit, and it kind of creates a fresh look and feel every year. So the arena environment for our stage production, but the one thing that will stay the same is our big Olympia Expo, which takes up about 600,000 square feet of convention center space, will continue at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So that will be the same as it was last year over there at the South Hall. So if you are in Vegas, come on out to the expo, experience it, be a part of it. We have a ton of celebrities booked this year. We also have an infusion of very high profile fitness industry creators, influencers, that whole crowd in a very big way are going to be making their way throughout the Olympia Expo. And then, of course, at night, not to be forgotten, is the big stage production. And, the front row at the Olympia has had quite the sparkling guest list over the years of people, very notable people over the years. You've seen, Dwayne Johnson there, you've seen Shaquille O'Neal there, you've seen Mark Wahlberg there. Um, the list goes on. Last year, Shannon Sharp was there, Little John, the Hall of Fame hip hop performer. They just come one after the next. They're all there, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch, but it's really exciting. They come, and the best thing about it is we never pay them to be there. They show up because they love it. They show up because they also have their own goals, their own fitness objectives. They understand the value of being around the best of the best. There's something about that that's very intoxicating, to be honest. And I remember I was sitting there next year next to Shannon Sharp and watching him speak of just being that close to all that. And he's been coming for years, but it's never lost on him. And he's a very, very busy guy. A lot of these guys are, look, these guys could be anywhere in the world on that night and make a lot of money to be there, but they choose to block out their schedule and to show up at the arena and be a part of that stage production. And there's a lot of money up for grabs, a lot of status. The Olympia is the Super Bowl. It is the highest level of achievement. So to be an Olympia champion, it is very much a life-changing experience for these men and women who are fortunate to win those titles. Um, yeah, so lots of new things happening. And but I'm excited that you are going to be among them with your significant footprint there at the expo. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough, Dan. You can talk about it all you want. I can talk about it all I want. There's nothing like experience in it. Because when I came back last year, I told some of the people in my gym, and I've got one of my friends that's actually going to be competing on the stage, not the Mr. or Miss Olympia, but actually going to be competing. She set her sights on it and has qualified to now come in and be in one of the competitions during the expo that people have to see. But you've got to experience it to know when you walk through the expo hall, the energy, the information, the products, the experience of being in an environment that will feed you for a year to commit to be your best. And then the Saturday night event, first off, I got to say, you were kind enough to take me up onto the stage the day before and get to see what the competitor. I know if people sign up for the VIP packages, they get an experience that's incredible. But then the passion in the audience on the night, seeing the bodybuilders coming out, it's a competition. This isn't stand there and look good. This is a presentation. You've got to bring your best. You've got to peak. And I saw last year, Samson came in great on Friday night and Saturday night had lost it. From what I heard, he had over dieted and lost it in 24 hours. But the fans, the passion, the cheering, the favoritism, and then controversy when you think your person should have won and somebody else won or vice versa. But it's all collective. And that's what makes it so brilliant. I urge anybody, if you want a weekend to remember, whether you're into bodybuilding, fitness, or just want an experience to waken you up, get to Vegas. I hope to see you there. Stop by my booth. And if I can finish with this, Dan, if you want to join me, this is open for two people. You cannot have been to the Mr. Olympia before. This is something that you have to have a first time experience. We're going to record it. We're going to highlight you. You're going to join the Born Superhuman team. You'll be part of the expo, but you have to send an email to Dan at bornsuperhuman.com and say, why do you want to be at Mr. Olympia this year? The last weekend
I
at
will add,
City.
I'm going to add to that. I'm going to jump in, Dan, if you don't mind, because um, not everybody out there has had a chance to spend time with you, and the invitation that you are extending to them. I will look into the camera that I'm looking into right now, and I will say to anybody who's out there who's on the fence, send Dan that email. And I say that for no other reason other than the times that I've had a chance to be in a room with you, to have been connected with what you try to share and what you teach. Um, it's not insignificant. It's powerful, and you're one of those forces of nature that when somebody is around you, they leave there better off for it. And I hope, and I'd even go as far as to say that if it was an item to be auctioned off, it would go for a pretty penny. So if you're offering that to somebody to come out there and just be a part of the Born Superhuman movement and to get to experience Vegas and get to experience the whole Olympia energy and all the things that come with it, that's a tremendous offer. And that's very generous that you're offering that to everyone, Dan. And I hope everyone takes you up on that. And the two people that you choose, I can't wait to hear from them because it's a really it's a really great thing that you're doing. And I know the work that you do, it's a year-round pursuit. I know you are relentless. You walk the walk, you live this life. You are not in this as a businessman, you are in this because of a profound desire to share and to teach and to lift people up and to make people healthier and stronger. And I'm grateful to you for all that you do to bring everybody together. So thanks for the interview, brother. It's good seeing you, and we'll have to reconnect when we get to Vegas in a few weeks and kind of share some more stories and get to make some new friends.
Dan, thanks so much. Good luck to your team. I've been working with Sophia. I got to give her a shout out. She's been incredible. And I know how hard you all work to make sure the event is perfection for everybody that shows up. Dan, good luck. I'll see you last weekend of September. And thanks so much for attending and speaking with me today.
Thanks.